Welcome back to Talk Show. I'm Ricky Martin's favorite Cabana boy, Joe Rodriguez. The ongoing debate of who's going to die in the White House next is going strong. NBC is just raking in the ratings right now. Commercials are so expensive. They're just making mega bucks. And yeah, I don't know. Do you think President Biden is doing push-ups right now? Jill Biden is in the kitchen with a stopwatch and she's like, lower, go lower. She's like, you have done two push-ups in an hour. Like, Joe, you can do it. And he's like, she's like, lower. I don't care if your elbow is bleeding. Get down there. I want to see your chin hit the floor. They just do flashcards. She's like, all right, Joe. Who is this? And she holds up a flashcard of President Zelensky. And he's like, Putin. She's like, wrong. Okay, this one's an easy one. All right? What race are you? And he goes, black. And she goes, you know what? I'm calling the Secret Service. I'm running for office. I'm a doctor. I am a doctor. And I'm going to kill you. I'm going to kill you with a pillow. He's like, it won't be that hard. All you have to do is yell at me. And the wind will kill me. I don't know. I'm not somebody that gets really political, but I think that Lil Wayne should run for president. Lil Wayne said one of the most poetic things. He said, when I come to my senses. He'll just come before every major decision. He'll be like, I declare war on Russia. Tunch. Young money business. And they're like, Lil Wayne, how do you feel about dropping in the polls? And he'll be like, I don't care as long as my bitches love me. Tunch. A lot of stuff is coming out about Biden's health. And you hear all this, like, I don't know, conjecture. Like, oh, he has a cough. Oh, his pinky keeps clicking when he raises a glass. Like, they're just coming out with all the, oh, his brain is actually a whole tumor. Yeah, the poor man, he could be in thriving health and we don't leave him alone. Like, next you're going to hear that he has Teflon flu. The flu where the fumes come out of the pan. And I don't know if you're hearing about this. The nonstick pans, you can't leave it on the burner because if you inhale the fumes, you might get a flu. Biden's like, I don't have COVID. I have Teflon flu. And Jill is like, stop using the pan as a hairdryer. He's like, oh, I thought I could dry my hair. She's like, that is a pan, not a hairdryer. The synthetic hairs that I implanted in your skull are melting, and you're so brain dead, Joe. Today's guest is Tali Vartanian. She's an actress living in Los Angeles. I met her on the set of a short film called Cry Baby from directors Amy Elquist and Kim Seong. Tali was funny on set. She was just cracking me up and roasting me. And sometimes when you're on set, you're just kind of like mind fucked. You're just like so brain dead. You don't know what to do. I mean, even when you're like acting and you're in the scene and you're saying stuff, sometimes you're just like, you don't have emotions in your eyes. Like you're just, I love you, Sarah. There's a lot of waiting around and very professional crew, but we had a lot of time to have some banter, and Tali was just kind of like roasting me. And I was like, have we known each other for 20 years? Like, did I meet you at a Elks Lodge? Like, how do I know you? How do I know you? So 3 months later, she's on the pod, and Excited to have her. On this episode, you're going to want to watch out for some potential spoilers of the show The Last of Us. Whoosh.
I was an extra on MasterChef, the Gordon Ramsay show. It filmed in Huntington Beach, and it was where they have to feed 100 lifeguards. You know what I mean? And I was one of the lifeguards.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And they were doing this casting call for anybody that either was a lifeguard or if you could just pretend to be a lifeguard. And so I actually did used to be a lifeguard. Like that was my first job for the YMCA. Really? And so I just ordered a new lifeguard tank top and wore red shorts, and I'm a lifeguard.
You made your non-union $80 or whatever.
I think it was unpaid. No, was it? I forgot. I really don't know. I think it was maybe $100, but then you got a free meal. From that's the blue team.
That's something.
Yeah. Oh no, from both teams. Yeah. And it was like fish. It was like mahi and something else. And but I saw you look like you want to say something.
Was the food good?
It was. Yeah. Yeah. Most people like asked me that. They were like, was it cold? And was it good? It wasn't cold. It was like fresh. Like they finished making it and they serve it and it was really tasty. Yeah.
Was it warm?
Yeah, it was warm. Yeah.
So do you think that they reheat the food on these shows?
I don't know. I didn't see any microwaves. Like it was on Huntington Beach on the fucking sand and they had kitchen set up. They had cameras on a crane and, they just were cooking. What's interesting is that on the shows, they make it so very fast paced, the way the editing is. Then you watch it in real life and it looks so boring and slow. Really? It's just a bunch of chefs cooking in the kitchen. Guy peeling garlic. Yeah, and Gordon Ramsay at one point like threw a spoon at somebody because they just like messed up something. Yeah. It was so surreal seeing the judges in person.
Why did he throw his spoon? Like
you have to watch the episode. That's a TV thing. I've heard Gordon is actually really nice in real life, but like for TV, he amplifies the asshole in him.
Did you get to see him at all?
I did. I absolutely saw him. Well, in between, I think he went off to his little tent.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, but like during the filming, I definitely like looked the whole time at him. And who was Aaron Sanchez? Do you know him? The judge?
That sounds familiar. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. He was one of the judges. And he, at one point, they had like cameras all the time, like looking for drama from these tables. And so I noticed they came around and they were like to each table. And they were like, how is everything? And I said, mine is missing like eggplant. And all of a sudden, a swarm of cameras come to me. And Aaron Sanchez comes to my table. And he's like, I heard you didn't get eggplant. Is that true? I swear to God, it was as if the state felt like a doctor was telling you have terminal cancer. It was very serious all of a sudden. And he's like, I heard you didn't get eggplant. And could you please tell us more about that? And I said, well, I took my plate from the blue team and I brought it here. And as I was eating, I noticed there was no eggplant. And I thought they were going to like bring God himself, Gordon himself over, but like they didn't. And, I thought they were going to like yell at the blue team of like, hey, that person was missing eggplant, fire up a new mahi. But instead, Aaron was like, why don't you take eggplant from another contestant? And I was like, wait, what?
Oh, so then you got in trouble?
No, well, he just was like, there was a lifeguard sitting across from me with eggplant on his plate. And Aaron's like, why don't you like just try eggplant from another person's plate? And I was like, okay. And I was like, he's like, yeah, go ahead. And I was like, okay. So I awkwardly took my knife and fork to the other person's plate and just took the eggplant. No. And then after that, the cameras just left.
Oh, so they gave up on your story.
There was not much to it. Well, usually in other episodes, if you're missing a side dish, it's like a big deal. They'll
make a big deal about a broken breadcrumb or something.
Broken the size of an atom.
Or like a slightly soggy egg or whatever.
Yeah, they usually do. So at first I was like, this is my big break.
Yeah.
This is
Did
it.
you do it on purpose?
No, I swear to God, I was missing eggplant. Not that I
You
wanted.
don't even like eggplant.
I mean, I like anything. I'll eat dirt. Like, I just love food and anything.
Yeah.
Like, except natto. It's a Japanese fermented soybeans. It's very stringy, like okra. I don't really like natto. Yeah. But anyway,
good.
no, I
I've
didn't.
never heard of that, and I'm
Yeah.
just gonna not like it with you. I don't
You,
know.
you
what.
don't even like vegetables, so I
Oh
don't
yeah, you
expect-
brought a vegetable platter
I brought
and I threw it right in the
and
trash.
Don't throw it in the trash. I got it on clearance.
It really was like, oh, I was gonna say it's like $80 of vegetables because it was really heavy.
What, it was $8 of vegetables.
Mm.
Yeah, I got, and then I thought if he brings me back, then I'll get like the higher end. I'll get better and better stuff.
I'll get like organic celery next time.
I'll go to Trader Joe's next time.
I'll have a better trash can next time. Wait, so I gotta ask, like, did the scene make the episode?
No, it didn't. I looked for it. I watched the episode too, and no, it didn't make it. I saw myself twice for like a second, and then that was it.
Okay.
The first was like getting food, and then the other was like at the table for like a second, and then that was it.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's my rising star moment.
Maybe you weren't mean enough.
I probably should have made a scene.
Yeah.
But then I didn't want I didn't want the reputation potentially ruined. I always think about that because, like,
Yeah.
God forbid I make it as an actor. I shouldn't say God forbid. I want that. But, like,
Right.
if I make it as an actor, I don't want these, people, the cancel culture to go back to, like, the
right.
podcast
And
or
you,
the
because for a
masterchef
gig
thing.
you did for money, like
Yeah,
an extra gig. You've been an extra in a lot of things.
Not well, in the beginning of my acting career, I started out doing extra work for like short films and stuff. And then I quickly was like, wow, this is a bunch of bullshit. And then you just try to get out of that as soon as you can. And yeah, it manifested into supporting and lead roles, thank God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's worse than PAing. It's
Yeah. You feel like it's weird because you know that the crew are treating they're nice, but you still feel like cattle. It's like, this is your holding room. These are the lesser snacks and drinks that you can have. And the work, it just feels very belittling, the whole thing. They separate people like you, the supporting and lead actors, and then the extras, like, you're over here. It feels very, very belittling. And the work, like the work of being an extra, is just boring, and it feels like it just diminishes you as a person.
Yeah.
Like on Crybaby, it was like, well, it was, I guess that was just, you were there, like, watching what the extras were doing. We had to do some, like, we were acting like monkeys, and like, like for like the insult part, they would just want us to be super crazy, like, like super crazy. And I was like, well, that's kind of fun. I mean, that's different, but most extra work is just super fucking, you've done it.
Oh, yeah, I've been an extra
It's like,
in a lot of things.
God, this is what 14 years of being an actor or whatever has led me to, is just standing around, and it's very diminishing.
Let me go start a TikTok before I do this crap.
Yeah.
For the low rates that they give you, especially because most of these gigs are non-union.
Yeah, which is like under $100.
Crazy.
Yeah, but like, I obviously tried to get out of background work as soon as I could. I mean, some people make a living off of it. Like, they'll just be like a professional extra on like big shows and movies, and they make a living off of it, and they're happy. Good for them. But that's not why I wanted to become an actor and express myself. Right. It was not through extra work.
You didn't want to just mime. You wanted to say words.
Yeah. I want to change the world. And, but like, I just, I only take paid. It has to be paid extra work if it's paid.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, but before it was non-paid when I was first starting out.
In LA?
In LA.
You did unpaid
extra work. I know. I might as well have just shot myself. Like, it's just no point at all.
Yeah.
Well, that's like I had no credits to my name. Nothing.
Right.
Like I moved to LA and I had nothing. I did like 2 plays
Yeah.
and that was it. And then some like stuff in high school, which doesn't count. And then I did unpaid extra work and then it transitioned into supporting and lead roles. And then this year I did 3 paid background work, including Crybaby, because I needed the money. But I actually haven't booked anything else, which is, but apparently it's really slow this year. Are you keeping up with the acting stuff? Or are you kind of done with it?
I'm like also just like dead in the middle of the industry, and I work at a TV network, so like I know all this crap, and it's not looking good.
It's not, and I feel like it's just me. I must be a bad actor, and but apparently everybody is struggling to land parts and find work. Yeah,
they're not making TV shows right now, and they're barely making pilots for shows.
Why is that?
Well, you know, if you listen to the New Yorker or you listen to like John Landgraf, unfortunately I do, and I'm thrown into this crap. Yeah, and basically we were in the golden age of TV, and now it's over.
Says who?
I don't know. All I know is my timing has never been right. You know, I'm finally in the middle of this industry, and it's over now.
But then there will be a resurgence.
Well, right? That's what I think.
These things always, it's like the housing market. It crashes and then it comes up and then it'll crash again. That's all
I know is that Procter & Gamble is paying $400,000 to run a Clorox ad on a primetime hit show. That's a lot of money. Yeah. And I mean, that's a lot of revenue and paychecks for people. So I don't know, supply and demand. But you know, everyone blames streaming. We're going to open up a whole nother chapter, but they blame streaming because...
Well, you need shows to stream.
You need shows to stream, but what I've always said is like, there's supply and demand, right? And television runs off ads. And the demand for TV shows is based on time. Those time slots need to be filled so that the ads can run. TV was invented to sell ads. Then streaming came in and said, hey, we're cool and we don't fucking do any of this, and we don't do ads, and we don't do time slots. We do the whole show at once immediately for a $9.99 subscription. And what it's ignoring is the supply and demand model, in my opinion, because it's not taking into account. There's no way to count the product. You know what I mean? Like, product is sold for a certain amount of money. That's how shit gets sold. And streaming is not like that. Right. And that's through a wrench and everything. So then there got to a stage where like they said that in an article that all the major media conglomerates were just doing a streaming platform, and they pretty much still are, as like something to have some clout about, because it's cool. Yeah. But it clearly, I mean, Netflix had to do ads. They're all doing ads. What does that tell you? They needed ads. Like this didn't work out. And then they're putting a pause on TV shows because it's Do you worry that you're going to be out of a job soon? Not really. Not really. Because what I do there is like so freaking far removed from any of this. I send emails.
For a living?
I mean, literally. If I'm not sending an email to someone's emailing me to create an email. It's an email fuckery. It's just, but yeah. And you work from home? Or one day, Fridays you work from home. Yeah. You can figure out which company it is from the... how do you feel about auditions? Like I hate it. The self-taping, I can't stand it. You've done a self-tape, right? Okay. Hundreds. I'm sorry, I didn't know. Oh, no, it sounded like you were done a long time ago. I miss going in person and talking to casting directors, and you can show them your personality. Over self-tape and you don't even know if they're going to watch the whole damn thing. They probably don't. No, I talked to a showrunner's assistant, and they don't.
Yeah. I had a feeling, and it really pisses me off because as actors, it's so time consuming. Making a self-tape. It's more time consuming than commuting to the audition.
Yeah.
Because you commute, you spend 5-10 minutes there for me usually, and then you leave. But with self-tapes, it's like it can sometimes take 4 hours or more. Yeah. It's setting it up. I do it by myself. So I have to record the other lines. Then I have to email it. And I have to download it. I have to upload it to a new computer. And I have to, memorize the sides. And I have to practice. And I have to get the timing right between my recorded lines and then my lines. And you do so many takes. Yeah. And it's a lot of fucking work.
It's a shit ton of work. And then you throw in lighting, sound, and cinematography. And they're also extraordinarily specific about what they want for the lighting. I did a self-tape the other day for a commercial. This lady, she goes on and on. Oh, and make sure that like there's no books or anything distracting in the background because that really just like fails the audition for me.
Can I just do a super quick tangent? I hate it when casting directors find it distracting if there's like something in the background. Yeah. Because I just want to say, when you're watching a movie, do you get distracted by like the door in the frame or the bookcase?
Yeah. It's bullshit.
Then why do you get distracted if there's, why should that, do all casting directors have ADHD? What the fuck? Why are they so easily distracted when it comes to tapes but not movies? Yeah. Focus your fucking eyes.
Yeah.
It pisses me off. Go ahead.
No, and if fucking Leonardo DiCaprio had to do a cell phone video on a beach and that was his audition for the commercial, that's his audition. Yeah. That's my thing. It's like, you really are taking advantage of people. And I think that was something in the frickin' SAG strike that I wish had changed. They had made it like that they're going to stop doing these self-tapes or like pay us at least.
There's a compelling reason why I found out they shouldn't pay actors for self-tapes. So I understand why they should. But I read or heard that it's not a good idea because if they pay... Why would they pay a bunch of newbies or shitty actors when they would just call in the same actors over and over again? You know what I mean? Because casting directors, they have their sort of roster of actors that they know to like keep calling in. Why would they see anybody new if they have to? Why would they spend so much money on seeing a bunch of new actors when they could just go to their roster and save more money that way? Do you know what I mean? So you're
saying the roster wouldn't have to do self-tapes?
The roster would do self-tapes, but they would just save money in both quantity. Like, so they wouldn't request as many self-tapes because they would just use their roster. And the quality would be better because they know that the talent on their roster are usually better actors than like the newbies. Usually with newer actors, it's kind of like to find the diamond in the rough. And why would they spend and risk so much money on that? You know what I mean? And I understand that logic.
All for... self-tapes that they're not even going to watch.
Exactly. And oh God, yeah, sorry. Circling back to that, it just pisses me off the most where we spend like few hours doing a self-tape. And it really pisses me off to know that they're only going to watch probably a few seconds of it and turn it off. And it's like, wait till it gets good.
Yeah.
But I also understand their perspective where it's like, well, if they know that I'm not the character, why would they keep watching? I understand that, but it's like out of respect.
I know, for the fact that this person did all this. And also, like, you hear from actors all the time, like, oh, I read for XYZ part, but they got me for something else. And it's like, yeah, so that requires you to give people a chance.
Yeah, exactly.
We're playing a subjective game, and we're playing like an oversupply of talent.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just think that's bullshit. I literally feel like a cinematographer. I got 3 lights. I got cameras. I'm half the time on FaceTime with my sister, and she's like in Italy rappelling off a mountain or something. And she's like, and T-Mobile is the best app for cellular service. And it's like,
Yeah.
Dude, what do we do? And then you never hear anything.
Nothing.
And it's like, for a shot at like, what, $10,000? Like,
yeah. I was going to say,
buying Goodwill hats.
Do you find that you've been booking less work with self-tapes? Do you ever get callbacks or? Yeah.
So I did, actually, yeah, I've never booked anything
off of a self-tape.
I mean, I booked like a student film off of a self-tape.
Oh, that counts.
Yeah.
That absolutely counts.
What'd you say?
It counts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was almost in a Kevin Hart movie off a self-tape.
Oh my God.
That did not work out.
Okay.
But yeah, I think it's crazy. I've had a couple of callbacks from a self-tape, but.
Oh, that's great.
But commercially. But it's just. I think it's like, what's the word when you prey on people?
I don't know. I'm too tired.
It's just bad. Yeah, I can't.
It's 11 o'clock at night. I can't. My brain's not working.
Did you ever see Rock of Ages?
No, I've heard of it.
You've heard of Rock of Ages?
I have, yeah.
The worst movie of 2012.
I'll Google it while you talk about it.
But I was an extra in that, basically. Is all you got to know. And they treated me like shit.
How did they treat you like shit?
Because we had to be rockers. So we've had like those big, like, wigs, real human hair wigs.
Okay.
And I took a nap because there was so much downtime.
Yeah.
And then I just woke up to the lady grabbing the back of my hair and she yanked my head forward. Yeah. And she goes, if I'm not sleeping, you're not sleeping. And then she like took me to the makeup area and fixed my wig.
Oh my God. You could have sued or reported that.
That's what my manager at the time said. But then.
Yeah. Now it's too late.
Also, I had a manager that was getting me extra jobs.
Yeah.
Rough.
Do you still have that? You don't have that manager anymore?
No.
Okay. Do you have an agent?
Yeah, I have an agent.
Commercial or theatrical?
They're commercial, but they send me on some theatrical stuff, which is nice. It sounds like you do mostly commercial auditions in general. Is that the type of actor you want to be, or do you want to be more of a theatrical actor? I want to be a comedic actor. Yeah. Okay. I want to create my own sitcom and be in it. Oh, that's okay. That's like my big dream. Oh, I didn't know that. Or at least write on it. You know what I mean? Or act. But yeah, I really admire like people who like Seinfeld. You want to create the next Seinfeld or like Abbott Elementary or Mm-hmm. I love like doing everything. Yeah. Yeah. Kind of like what's cool about this podcast is like it allows me to wear a lot of different hats. Sure. Yeah. Do you have an agent? I do. A theatrical, and I've been with them. It's a small boutique agency based out of Colorado, and a year ago they started doing operations in New York, LA, and I think Atlanta. And I auditioned. I sent them like I saw like a thing on Facebook about it that they were like seeking actors for their roster, and they wanted me to do self-tape sides for like sorry, it's late. They wanted me to basically do a comedic and a dramatic, not monologue, but read sides. Yeah. I'm not coherent right now. And so luckily they liked it, and then they signed me off of that. That's good. They send me out. They submit me a lot because last year I got this report of all of the things they submitted me for. It's like them saying, like, not in a bad way, but like, this is how many times we've submitted you, and this is how many auditions we've got. And you see the show names that they submit you for. And the biggest one was The Last of Us. The second season, they submitted me for Dina. I don't know if you keep up with Last of Us. Oh, I saw The Last of Us. Isn't it amazing? Oh my God. I saw it twice, actually. It's so fucking good. Oh my God. Yeah, I can't wait for season. Have you played the games? No. I haven't either. It's based on a video game. Oh yeah, and the game is really good apparently, but I haven't played the games. Yeah. So I went in completely fresh, like you have, right? Yeah. So do you know what season 2 is about? No. Wow. Do you know? I do. I spoiled it for myself. Okay. Because my boyfriend, like,
I was asking questions to my boyfriend about season 2, and he was like super vague about stuff. And I was like, why? What happens to... And he said, well, like, if I say it, it'll spoil something major. And I was like, I don't care. Tell me. I just like, I can't wait, you know, because like season 2, who knows when it's going to fucking come out. Like they're filming it, but I can't wait with these things. No. And like, I need to know, because I'm always like, I could die before it comes out. I want to know these things before I die. Like I'm still in an existential crisis, like we talked about earlier. So that's why I'm like, just tell me these things, because I could die. Yeah. I want to know before I die. So I was like, tell me what happens to... And he told me, and I was like, oh my God, that's such a big thing. But if you played this, there's like video, so there's like The Last of Us and The Last of Us Part 2. And so people who have played the video games, they already know what season 2 is going to be out, because it doesn't follow the video game exactly, but it's pretty close. Yeah. And so it's pretty shocking what happens in season 2. Is it a main
character death or?
Depends how, well, if I don't want to spoil anything. Do you want me to answer?
Just do it.
So, okay. What's your question? Does the main character die? Yes.
Oh my God. The girl?
Do you want me to tell you?
Just do it.
Just keep guessing.
She dies.
Ellie?
Ellie, yeah.
No.
Joel? No, he dies?
Not only does he die, it's sorry. I can spoil it. Yeah. Okay, here's the thing. It is in part 2 of the game, because I watched like the cutscene. It happens very quickly. He's barely in the second video game, which means he's probably going to be... Spoiler alert, by the way. Sorry.
Oh yeah, we're gonna have to like flag this.
Yes. Yeah, shit. He's barely in the second game because he dies right away in the beginning, which means he's probably gonna die right away in season 2.
Oh my God.
Basically what happens is Ellie, this is like 5 or 7 years after part 1. Ellie grows up. She's a teenager. She has a girlfriend named Dina, which is the thing my agent submitted me for.
Okay, good. Dina, I was wondering.
Which I'm too old for that. Dina's like 17 and I'm 33, so I don't look 17. And so they are together, but Ellie is still very much mad at Joel. Do you remember the end of part 1, right? Kind of.
Well, let me make sure. She's about to have the surgery, right?
Yes.
And then Joel stops her. Mm-hmm. Like he stops it from happening. Then he lies to Ellie in the back seat, and they drive off, and that's the end of season 1.
Yeah. They hike up this mountain too as the last shot, and Ellie's like, swear to me that everything you said was the truth. And he goes, I swear. And she goes, okay. And that ended like that. So it means like she knows he's lying and she wanted him to admit it. And by him kind of lying, she's like, okay, I'll believe you. But in the back of her mind, she still doesn't. So there's a rift that happens between them, kind of, I think, because of that. I may be slightly wrong because I haven't watched that cutscene for part 2 in a while. And if you remember, Joel kills some doctors that are about to operate on Ellie. Yeah. So he kills one of the doctors. He has a daughter, and her name is Abby. So Abby is a major character in part 2 of the games. Okay.
Is she the girl that got shot in the first
She's not
episode?
In the first season at all. Oh. Not at all. She's a brand new character.
Okay.
Okay. So in the video games, Abby grows up and she's like she's older than Ellie, I believe. And she's very muscular. She finds out that Joel killed her father. So she goes on this revenge quest to find Joel and kill him. And she has like a group of guys and they find Joel in this town that him and Ellie are in. This is like this very safe town too. And she finds him and she beats him with a bat till he dies. And they make Ellie watch. And it happens.
What the fuck?
It happens right in the beginning of the video game. And it would cause so much controversy among fans because Joel is such a beloved character and he dies right away.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Like you like barely play the game. Like it's either like right in the first cutscene or maybe you play a little bit through the town as Ellie or Joel and then the cutscene happens.
Yeah.
And then the thing is, right after Joel dies, this girl, Abby, kills Joel, beats his face with a baseball bat, and they hold Ellie down to make her watch. Right after that happens, the game makes you play as Abby from her perspective. I think it's like they goes to like the flashbacks of Abby finding out that Joel killed her father, the doctor, and you are forced to, I think, play as Abby and go on this revenge quest to like find Joel. And then it cuts to you playing as Ellie. So it goes, I think, back and forth, you playing as Abby and Ellie. And the fans hated that, which I understand.
Yeah.
Because Joel is such a beloved character. And now you have to play as the actual villain. But it's so you can see it from her perspective in the sense like Joel was the villain to her. That was the guy that killed her dad.
Yeah.
You know?
And I mean, that's up there with the reasons why you're going to get revenge.
Yeah.
I also feel like that's the show that's going to do that. Because I mean, they did it. They shocked me several times. I mean, obviously, first episode, it was like, what the fuck? Like,
yeah.
No, did she just die?
Yeah. Yeah. The daughter.
Yeah. The daughter. And then his
girlfriend.
Yeah.
Redheaded girlfriend.
Yeah.
With the tongue sticking out of the zombie thing. Remember? The zombie thing like kissed her and infected her.
Oh, is that what that was?
That's how she died?
Like the one that was stuck to the floor?
Yeah, in this like museum thing. It was episode 3.
They go into the museum.
Yeah, yeah. And then she like sacrifices herself and has Joel and Ellie run. Right. But then there was the shot of the zombie sticking its floral tongue out and just
the mushroom
face.
Little green string bean
I
things.
forgot what they're called, but yeah.
Yeah. It looks like bean sprouts to me.
Really?
You ever get bean sprouts at an Asian restaurant?
Yeah, I like bean sprouts. I mean, you just ruined them for me. But.
You're going to think of zombies now.
Yeah, not really, but yeah. But yeah, I love Last of Us. And
it's great.
I feel bad spoiling it for you. I mean, what do you make of all that?
I'll probably still watch.
Are you processing everything I just told you? How do you feel about that?
I would still watch it because I think that show proves that you can switch perspective and really make huge plot twists just on the regular.
Yeah.
I mean, also the episode with, I don't know, what's his name, but the Ron Swanson.
Yeah, the gay one.
Yeah.
That was a great one.
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah.
It just was such a complete story in one episode. So.
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you do?
I'm a writer. I'm a copywriter.
A copywriter. Okay, I think I knew that. Yeah.
Yeah. Technically, it's a copywriter and a content writer. They're technically two different things. But yeah, it's just basically I write like blog posts and emails, like emails from companies like B2B, business to business, or social media posts and ads for. Right now, one of my clients is a Dutch artist, and I write her YouTube scripts. So like when she talks to the camera, like that's all my words she's saying.
No way.
Yeah.
What is she saying? Like,
well, it's just like, like it'll be like, well, she's trying to like trying to find like a new direction to go. So like, it's like tackling life philosophical questions. So like one I wrote was about the pressures of radical independence as a woman. That was her idea. So
I need a dictionary.
Yeah. So it was just like, I would have to pull it up and like read it, but I don't know if you're that interested.
No, I mean, I'm really, the burning question in my mind is Dutch.
Oh, it's not. Sorry, it's in English.
She's speaking English on a Dutch channel.
Oh, I should not even said she's Dutch. I don't know why it's relevant, but she just is a Dutch person and lives in the Netherlands.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you sign an NDA for this one?
No, I didn't. So I can technically talk about it.
What's your name?
Wendy Buter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And what kind of music does she do?
It's art, paintings.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I thought she was like a singer, and then she was suddenly talking about radical feminism or whatever you said.
No, it's just she's a painter, and basically she'll like send me topic ideas.
Yeah.
And she has a book on Amazon, so like I'll reference the book if I need like more information about her background without asking her. And she'll just send me like an email with like a paragraph, and then she's like, write about it, and then I have to write like a 1,000 to 1,200 word script.
Jeez.
Yeah, it doesn't take that long. It'll take between 1 to 2.5 hours to write it.
You're basically stuck in like 8th grade. Like, you know, remember when they would require like a word count?
Yeah. I hated writing essays in school.
Yeah.
But like the only reason I became a writer is because it's very flexible and it works with acting. You know, when I decided to pursue acting, I was like, I need to find a job that will allow me to audition. So I just chose writing because I've always been a good writer.
And you're basically human AI. Basically, I'm hearing that a lot of AI can happen.
Yeah. Well, ChatGPT have you used ChatGPT?
Nah, but I won't. I don't hear the end of it.
I think people have watched. I'm not saying you, but people have watched Terminator, and so they're afraid that AI is going to like take over the world, and there's going to be AI is going to, you know, I don't know, be robots and just take over the world and start killing humans. And
I'm skeptical because Snapchat has an AI, and I asked it to tell me an airplane joke, and I said, "What's the worst part about flying Spirit?" And I was like, "You're bombing already." You know, like and then it was like, and I said, "What is it?" And I said, "You have to bring your own peanuts or something." And I was just like, oh my God, what a joke fail. This is AI. This is the best.
Yeah. No, but it's a very good tool for copywriting. It's if you type in a prompt, like write me a blog about being gay. Sorry, I don't know why.
You could also just talk to me.
It'll and type you a cohesive blog post on whatever topic. Granted, it sounds a bit robotic, but it sounds very professional and formal, and it's really great for outlining and topic generation. And I definitely use it as a tool to speed up my writing process.
Oh, so the Dutch woman is just spitting out AI? Are you giving her AI scripts?
No, I don't like. I don't like type in the prompt in AI and then copy paste it and then here, give me my money. No, it's that like I'll use it like I will do like 99% of the writing. And if I need, like today I was writing about radical independence. And so I was like, what is the history of radical independence as a woman? And I know like the gist of it, but like I just needed specifics. So instead of Googling it, where it's like a million pages pop up, ChatGPT will summarize pretty much everything on Google and present you with just the facts that you are requesting. Yeah.
Okay, so I heard that it can like pick out things. You can even tell it like you're a little too broad, get a little more specific.
You can say get more specific, be more vague, change your tone, change your style, change the word count.
Now
it's like your
scared.
own, it's like a little assistant. Here's what I think about the AI taking over. I don't think in my opinion, I don't think we're going to live long enough to see it. So
how dare you? Why can I not live that long? I kind of want to live forever. Don't you want to live forever? I hope AI helps. I'll become a robot. I love Futurama. Put my head in a glass of formaldehyde. It might happen. I don't know is the correct answer for me, but I don't think we're going to be around to see the AI take over. Because you're what, 52? No, I'm kidding. Okay, so you're 32 and a half. 32 and a half.
Wait, when's your birthday?
It's January 11th.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm a Capricorn. I'm a Ram.
Why do people do that? They say their fucking star sign after their
Because
birthday.
it's LA.
That's such an... No, I'm not mad at you. I'm mad at like the LA. It's like, what's your sign?
Yeah.
I cannot fucking stand
I can't stand
that.
it either.
And then you like talk to somebody and you'll just meet them for the first time and they're like, what's your sign? You have Scorpio energy written all over you.
But you're a Taurus rising.
Yes.
When the sun rises, you are a Taurus. A four Taurus.
I cannot fucking stand that. I have a lot of icks and pet peeves.
Yeah.
That is a top one.
I just did one of your icks.
You just did one. Yeah.
Well, you know what it is? It's like, what are you going to say about an age? I mean, or like a birthday. There's very little to say.
You don't have to say.
I was born in January. Ooh, brr. Like, what am I going to... I guess it is up there with weather, like your astrological sign.
You can just stop there.
What's your birthday?
December 20th.
So you're a Capricorn.
No, I'm a Sagittarius. I'm a cusp baby, so I'm right on the cusp.
For someone that hates it, you know a lot.
I just remember things I researched. So I'm like right in the middle of Capricorn, and so Capricorn is the 21st. So one day early with Sagittarius.
Oh, so you were really close to being
very
stubborn.
close to being Capricorn. Yeah, but I'm the Archer. So
you're a Cupid.
Yeah, no, I don't try to, make people fall in love with me.
You're not a matchmaker?
No. I try to break people apart.
Is that what's happening right now?
Kind of. It's working too, I think. So wait, so you shop at Goodwill? Mm-hmm. Or you used to?
I used to, but the shirts started to smell like a Cuban man's sweat a little too much.
You didn't wash it?
I'd wash it, but like after the first time I wore it.
Oh, okay. And then
which apparently is so bad.
Yeah. And so like no more shopping at Goodwill then?
No. I go there for like pots and pans and Did you ever get a cup at Goodwill?
No, I don't know. Never.
They sell cups.
Yeah, I know. But I would never buy somebody else's cups and clothes. I just don't like, sorry. I don't like used hand-me-downs. I don't want to wear someone else's clothes or use the cup that somebody else drank. It's just strange. It's like I can go to Target and buy one for a few dollars.
It'll be a few dollars less at Goodwill.
Yeah, but I mean, like a nice one at Target,
But have you been to a restaurant?
A restaurant?
A restaurant?
I think I have. Quite a few.
Do you think that the cups are new cups every time?
At restaurants?
No, they're not.
They don't go to Goodwill.
Huh?
They don't go to Goodwill.
No, they might as well.
Even if you wash it, it feels icky wearing somebody. Sorry, that's a childish thing. It just feels icky wearing somebody else's stuff. And it's the same with cups. I don't know who the fuck. Even if I wash it, it's like, it's icky.
Yeah. It's funny because I have a lot of fruit flies in this apartment. And so I made a fruit fly trap in a little bowl. And every time I use that bowl, I'm like, there were 30 fruit flies in here.
Yeah.
Dead.
Yeah.
For 6 months.
That's how I feel about Goodwill.
And now I'm putting sour cream.
Yeah, exactly. That's how I feel about Goodwill. I do go there for books and movies.
Goodwill?
Goodwill. Yeah. Books and movies.
What are you getting? Like Bambi on VHS?
No, like it would like I think the last thing I got was the Harry Potter and the Cursed Child book. It's a play. And then I got Devil Wears Prada, the movie.
I just saw that again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say for the first time. I was going to say, I'll leave now.
I've learned to say again so that people don't think I'm totally under a rock. No, I saw that one recently.
Isn't it amazing?
It is such a good movie.
Yeah.
And she throws her cell phone out at the end.
Yeah.
To say fuck you to this whole industry.
Okay, so do you watch any movies in theaters, or you don't really go outside much?
I was I like how movies are like going outside to you. Like that's the same thing.
It kind of is. I mean, you have to go outside.
It feels like that in LA. Like everyone, and if you don't watch it, you're gonna lose out on a lot of conversations. Like,
yeah,
I kind of think it's annoying. Like, can we talk about something else? Like Jesus, but I mean, it's bonding for idiots or whatever.
So it sounds like you don't go to watch any movies because.
I mean, I used to have AMC stubs because my boss bought it for me, but like, I don't usually go to the theater.
Okay.
I'll wait 6 months after the conversation dies down and then.
Are you critical of movies in general?
Yeah.
Okay.
And you know what I notice about myself? I don't really watch. I don't have the attention span for a movie.
Okay.
Do you feel like that?
Do you have ADD?
I feel like I might have undiagnosed. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe. And some other things.
Well, we all know about that.
I'm kidding.
We all have a couple of those.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Most in LA. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Delusion or whatever.
Tell me some of like your top favorite movies then.
Jurassic Park.
What else?
Jurassic Park 2. Jurassic Park 3.
Okay. What did you think of Jurassic World?
Sacrilege.
Okay. I liked
now
it.
You have technology.
I liked it.
Now you have rotoscoping and CGI.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
No, come on.
Okay. All right. What else?
What is he acting with the tennis ball or whatever?
How else are they
No,
going
they used to have the machine and
used to
they had
real
to
dinosaurs
and spray sweat on it and stuff. And yeah.
Okay. What else?
They're real dinosaurs.
What else you got?
Well, I like Charlotte's Web. You ever seen that?
When I was 4.
Yeah, that movie's sad, isn't it?
I don't remember much. I grew up.
It's sad.
I should watch it. What?
You really should.
Yeah.
Well, I think the themes are sad.
Okay.
Because the spider, it's getting tired towards the end. It made all these pig friends and rats, and it's friends with a goose.
Yeah.
And then it's like, I'm getting kind of tired, and they're like, Charlotte, what's wrong? She's like, oh, do you remember this?
No, are you spoiling the ending now?
Oh yeah. Well, you want me to?
No, don't. I'll watch it, and then the next time
it's not good.
Yeah,
I'll tell you that much.
No, don't spoil it, please, because I'll watch it, and then next time I come back, if I'm allowed, then then I can share my thoughts.
On depression meds at that point, that movie's sad. I'm telling you.
I will never get on meds for even. I don't care. I've tried it once, and I was like, never again. So I don't. Yeah.
Oh,
sorry.
depression meds.
Random topic.
No, it's okay. Yeah. Depression meds. You don't.
It was well. I tried. Yeah. Well, it was during the pandemic. Sorry, we were getting into dark territory. Well, might as well.
I mean, what is it?
Might as well.
Yeah. Why
from
not?
movies. Well, I have OCD, and so it's most people think of it as like, oh, you're so neat and clean, but it's like that's not what it is. That's actually more of what OCPD is, obsessive compulsive personality. You seem like you know the difference, and that actually warms my heart because most people don't know the difference, which is okay. It's just most people don't know. So like if you're very orderly and clean and you like things a certain way, but to an obsessive point, that's like the personality disorder. OCD is when you have intrusive thoughts and they come out of nowhere. It feels like you got hit by a train mentally, and it just feels so real that it causes you to do what like compulsions or like rituals to negate the thought, basically. And it can come in all forms. It can be like symmetrical OCD. There's harm OCD to the self, harm OCD to others. So you could, for example, be at like a dinner table and you'll have an intrusive thought about like, let's say we were going out to dinner and then there's a steak knife and I would have an intrusive thought about taking it. It feels very vivid when it happens. Like for a second, it's like you're like dreaming and it's like the whole thing plays out, but it's like for a second. So it's like, it's like this vision of me taking the knife and like stabbing you. And it feels so real. And it feels like the urge is so real to do it that it's like, I'll just like, for example, like put the knife under the napkin, or I'll like put the chair away from the knife. So that's like little compulsions and rituals, they're called.
Yeah.
Because you're doing physical things to distance yourself from the thing that scares you. And so during the pandemic, it got really, really bad. So I tried medication for 3 days, and it just amplified it even more. And it was like all the side effects that are listed on websites about medication, I got all of them within 3 days. It was a very like rare occurrence, because usually side effects don't hit you until 2 or 3 weeks later. And it was just hell. And I was like, I'm never, ever going on. I'm going to fix this shit myself.
Right.
And eventually I did. I mean, well, it can't be fixed. There's no cure, but it's like diabetes. You learn how to manage it and live with it and live a normal life with it by your side. Yeah. And instead of seeing it as a threat, it's more of like, you just see it as almost like an ally, like it's something to protect you. Like it's like, oh, my brain's trying to protect me, and it's always just on high alert for danger and things that, well, it comes from like a root cause. So like it, for me, it always leads back to like going to prison for some reason. So like I have this like terrible fear of going to prison, and like all my freedom being taken away, and I can't do acting, I can't do photography. So that's where that comes from. So then I'm like, oh, my brain's just trying to protect me from that. And then it gets easier to manage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it always a negative
intrusive thought? Yeah, usually. There's no really like positive intrusive thoughts, because then they're not intrusive and they don't scare you. And when they, here's the thing, as humans, we have 70,000 thoughts a day. Yeah. And so most of those thoughts are like subconscious. And so I don't think you have OCD. It doesn't, I don't think either of you do. So,
well, I'm hearing this, and I make that joke of like, I do make that joke of this a lot, but I chopped it up to anxiety, but I have episodes of really, really specific, really bad things happening. Like, for example, especially when I'm driving, like,
oh, okay.
And I mean,
there's hit and run OCD. I dealt with that too.
What is that?
Hit and run OCD is when you have the thoughts and feelings like you just hit somebody. Like, and even if nobody will be around, like if you go over a pothole, it's so strange. Your brain will tell you just hit a person. And then it will cause you to go circle around, maybe even park and get out like I have, and look for a dead person. And then you go home and you think the ambulance is coming. It really is. Sometimes my therapist once said all these things, like they start to mirror other, like schizophrenia and mania of bipolar and psychosis. Not that they are, but the severe anxiety to that point starts to mirror other mental ailments. So OCD can definitely manifest into you being paranoid that like, oh my God, I hit somebody, the ambulance, the cops are coming, because I hit somebody. And I'll get to that later, but there's definitely treatment, non-medication treatment that can help, that I can tell you about if you're interested. But yeah, go ahead and tell me about what you experience when you're driving.
Well, I mean, like I always chopped it up to anxiety, but
do you feel comfortable talking if I ask you specific questions?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so do you get? So what? All right, sorry. What happens when you drive? Like, do you have a fear of driving?
Well, okay. So for the longest time, I had a dream that I was rear-ending somebody, like rear-ending them, and I dream that all the time. And then, just like sometimes, like when I'm driving, I will have a really, but it's happened in this room. Like I've been on the couch, and it probably was during the pandemic or after it.
Yeah.
I went into work, and I told this girl at work, and she was like, "That's crazy." I visualized the wall exploding, like there being a gas explosion, but it's so
vivid,
specific. Yes. Like I can see like the splinters of wood, or like, you know, like I can see like every detail of it happening. And then I'm like, oh shit, like why? I'm like really creative. Like, oh, my brain is being weird, or like being really creative when that happens. But yeah, the driving one happens when I'm driving, like, oh, I'm going to get into a rollover accident and my neck is going to snap in half. And
so you're I can never pronounce it. Catastrophizing. Yeah.
Yeah.
But does that cause you to do anything to negate the thoughts you're having? Has that caused you to drive less, for example?
Nah.
Okay. And do you drive slower? Do you drive more cautiously? Do you do anything to prevent the thoughts from happening?
No, I don't go about my day and like, I'm not like, oh, let me try to have less intrusive thoughts. But I mean, like I was in the elevator at my job one day and I was like, what if we just like push the call button? Yeah. And then they were like, why do you say like random shit like that? And they were like, oh, you have very strong intrusive thoughts. Yeah. And I never like analyzed it like that. But I was diagnosed with anxiety and depression. Yeah. But the vividness of what you just talked about is, when you said that when you run over a pothole and you are convinced that
not anymore, by the way.
No, I mean like,
but yes, not anymore. But yeah, in the past.
So you said that you like turn around, you get out of the car, you check, and you still go home. Yeah. And you think that the ambulance is coming. I would
sit on the couch, and I'm not exaggerating, when it was really at the height of it, I would sit on the couch and what's called ruminate. You think about it just like on like a broken record. You cannot stop thinking about it for hours. Like I would get home at 2 p.m. and then it'd be 7 or 8 p.m. And I would be like, okay, I have to stop. It feels like you're in like a hypnosis trance, thinking. But yeah, go on.
And so do you always, like, you're saying for hours you're not breaking out of it at all? Like you don't do anything else?
Nothing. Okay. No. When it was really bad.
Yeah.
When it was really bad. It felt like I couldn't break out of it. There's different levels, by the way. So there's like, and that's with anxiety, depression, bipolar, anything. So like you can have mild OCD and then moderate, severe, and extreme. So like what you're describing is something my friend also sort of described. And I think his therapist said it might be a low level or very mild form of OCD. And again, I'm not like a therapist. I'm not even
Come on, please. I need a prescription. It's what I need.
It sounds like it might be a mild form of OCD. And the reason is because, so let me circle back to something. So people have 70,000 thoughts per day. And that is a mix of like, what am I going to eat? So like, normal thoughts to like, what if I just push this person down the stairs? Okay. Yeah. Now, most people they have those thoughts and they either are not even aware of it, or they are like, oh, that was weird. All right, whatever, you know? Yeah. And then, so that's like most people. And then there's some people like us where we're more hyper aware of those intrusive thoughts. And I read somewhere that it has to do with, in the brain, I don't know the technical term, but there's a filter in the brain that filters out thoughts automatically. So people with OCD, that filter's malfunctioned. So when a thought comes that's intrusive, it feels so real because the brain cannot filter it as like an automatic, like it's just a thought. It's just whatever, you know. We have to manually filter it and manually tell ourselves it's just intrusive. Yeah. So, but because you're not doing anything to negate it, you don't seem afraid of the thoughts because it doesn't, you correct me if I'm wrong. It doesn't seem to physically or mentally impair you. You're not driving less. You're not driving differently. you don't seem afraid of the thoughts. You just seem curious about it, and you seem something wrong with me or my brain. So that could indicate a very low level of OCD, just that heightened awareness that you have of your intrusive thoughts. But because you're not afraid or you're not doing compulsions, then I don't know if I would consider that like full blown OCD, but it could develop into OCD if there are intrusive thoughts that come that how do I word this? Like if intrusive thought comes that makes you question yourself and your morals and something. So OCD attacks the things you care about. So whatever you care about, I don't want to cause OCD in you, but whatever generally you care about the most, that would really like, it feels like it would make you die on the inside. Those are generally the intrusive thoughts that come. And, you know, those are the ones that generally people with OCD would do compulsions to try to negate.
So
I hope this isn't confusing.
No. I think it's really interesting because when you said that, like, not to beat a dead horse.
It's okay.
But when you said that you go back and you check to see that there was no dead body that you hit.
Yeah.
And you still go home and you still are locked in this cycle.
Yes.
That is not me.
Okay.
And in fact,
good. That's a great thing.
Thanks.
That's fantastic. I mean,
yeah. But what I've had to like navigate is like sometimes the like I call it supernatural, but it is the intrusive thought. I will have to literally confirm to myself. I mean, I'm 32 and a half, as we discussed. I checked under my bed the other day with a flashlight.
For what?
Because I knew that I was going to lay there.
Under the bed?
And maybe full, huh?
Under the bed?
No, I was going to lay in the bed.
Oh.
Not under the bed.
It sounded
I sleep on the bed. I'm not in the Willy Wonka movie or whatever. But so I had to confirm to myself that there was nothing there. And then because I just knew that if I was going to sleep and the fact that this thought came up, it was going to still affect my sleep somehow. So I had it with stand-up comedy too for the longest time. Like I thought I was so bad. And I mean, I sucked for a long time. And then I got better and I felt better, but I still could not watch my comedy. And then I broke that and I started watching it and I started going, oh, like even at my worst moments, I still look comfortable or whatever. And so it's like, I realized that my brain gets really scared of like ridiculous information. Like like there's no one under the bed. Like I'm not that bad at comedy. But it's so real on some level in my mind that like that this is just, and there's also paranoia where I go like, oh, like I'm extremely like way off. Like I think I can do a podcast, or I think I'm funny, like, or I think I can write, like, and then I have swings where I'm extremely positive and I'm like, I'm a genius. So
can I stop you right here?
Yeah.
I'm again not a therapist, but that last part sounds like manic episodes, so that could be indicative of bipolar. Because you just talked about how it swings from low to high.
Yeah.
And that like most people think bipolar is like you're happy and then you're angry. And that's, my therapist debunked that for me because I didn't know what bipolar was. And he said it's actually manic episodes of like really, really low states of depression for like a while, like 2 or 3 months or something. And then it'll swing to grandiose manic thoughts that can be very dangerous because you can do things like it'll be like I want to go skydiving, and then they actually go skydiving, but like that thought will come and they'll act on it. It's an impulse is very strong and there's no like, let's step back and like think about it. They'll just do
Right.
it. But I don't know if you're like that, where you act on your thoughts, like the grandiose ones.
I don't know.
Well, my therapist said we all actually have very low levels of manic, like mania. For me, it happens when I'm alone and I listen to music. So like, so like lately I've been on a Taylor Swift binge where if I'm like alone and my boyfriend's not sleeping over, I'll listen to like a lot of Taylor Swift music, and then I'll get in this mindset of like, you know, like imagining myself dating other guys. Not that I want to, but then that FOMO will kick in because her music is all like romantic and about love and stuff.
Yeah.
So then I'll start thinking like, oh, I missed out and whatever, you know, again, not that I want to date, but like just the FOMO of it. So then, and that it won't cause me to do anything, but it'll definitely be very sudden. Like I was having a great day and then all of a sudden I feel so, it's sometimes really low, and then sometimes I listen to good music and I feel really high, like high off of great music.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I don't take drugs, but I have been high before and it actually feels like I am high. Same with social media. It releases dopamine when we see like a like, right? It's like a dopamine hit, and that's what makes it so addictive, right? Like we just keep coming back to social media.
Yeah.
Did you know about any of this? You look so lost. Do you know about drugs?
Social media?
No.
Drugs? Tylenol? Yeah, I can't do weed because it makes me extremely paranoid.
Oh my gosh. I did edibles during the pandemic because I thought it would help my OCD and anxiety. And I had the worst trip ever. It just like, and I've been high in the past from weed and edibles and it was fine, but just being in that state of paranoia from OCD, it felt like my brain was going 1,000 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Like the thoughts were coming like you're driving a Mario Kart, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it was one of the worst experiences ever, and it lasted for like 7 hours, and I swore off all weed, edibles, drugs, alcohol, nothing. I said, I'm never doing anything ever again. Yeah.
That's good.
It was very traumatizing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The last time I did an edible, I peed my pants.
Oh.
Yeah. But before that was terrible. Because you know how you have a brownie and then it's like, but I don't feel it. And so you eat like the rest of the pan, and then you're like, the next thing that happened was I was playing Monopoly with my friends, and then I forget what happened, but like it was the stupidest thing, and then we just couldn't stop laughing, and then I couldn't stop laughing to the point where I couldn't breathe. Like it was on the floor. I was on the floor and I couldn't breathe, but I couldn't tell anybody. And then I was like, oh, I'm high. And then I spiraled, and there was a pool, and I walked around the pool, and I saw like every bad decision I've ever made, and they were like, what's wrong with Joe?
Yeah.
Put on Talladega Nights. So then we watched Talladega Nights, and I guess I thought that was really funny, and I peed my pants because the next morning I woke up and I was like, why
You
is there
didn't know
moisture?
you were doing it in the moment?
There was moisture.
Yeah, but like as you were peeing right then and there, were you aware of it?
I think maybe I had laughed so hard that I peed.
Oh, okay. So you didn't know
No.
in the moment. Do you understand the question?
Oh, was that the question?
Yes.
The answer is no.
Okay.
Yeah. No,
Got it.
I didn't know. Have you ever peed yourself from laughter?
No one's that funny.
God damn it. Have you met me?
You're up there. You're up there. I've let out a few trickles, I think.
Oh, trickles.
But not full on.
For Gabriel Iglesias only, or Kevin
Oh, he's
Hart.
funny. Both of them.
Yeah,
Really
they're funny.
Can I
And
ask
think
what your favorite comedian? Sorry to switch. Sorry. Who's your favorite comedian? Or give me like a top 3.
Wanda Sykes, Tig Notaro.
Wait, too fast. Who?
Wanda Sykes.
Wanda Sykes.
Yeah.
See, can you understand what he's saying half the time with that accent? He like slurs it. Wanda Sykes. It sounded so
Staccato. Squish. Oh,
Yeah,
Jesus.
yeah. It
Staccato.
sounds
Yeah.
squished. Sorry. Wanda Sykes.
Wanda Sykes.
Sykes. Okay.
Tig Notaro.
Okay. Wanda Sykes is number 1?
I don't know, actually. Yeah, I don't know. These
she
are just
should be lower.
Oh, you don't like her?
No, there's better comedians.
Who are your top 3?
Bill. I don't know who would be number 1, but Bill Burr and Sebastian Maniscalco are easily top 2.
Yeah, they're funny.
Oh my God. Bill Burr, his personality's like mine. Just like a fucking AK-47, just spitting out bullets of truth.
Yeah.
Doesn't give a fuck what people think.
Yeah.
I also like Dimitri Martin. Do you know him?
I've never watched his stuff, but I hear that he's really
very
funny.
dry.
Yeah.
Very, very dry. Very funny. Very smart guy. Also, who else? Bo Burnham is pretty good.
Yeah.
Kevin Hart, of course. Tom Segura.
Yeah. Tom Segura is really funny.
Yeah, Nate Bargatze.
Oh, Nate Bargatze.
Bargatze.
He's my number 1 right now.
Did you see that skit of him with he was at the airport and they checked his ID and it's like the ID said Nathaniel, but then his ticket said Nate and they wouldn't let him on.
On SNL or something?
It was on Netflix. I can send it to you later. But yeah, he's really funny.
Yeah, he's really funny.
Yeah.
Do you like stand-up comedy? Like,
I do. My boyfriend used to do stand-up comedy at Flappers.
Oh, Flappers.
So,
yeah.
Yeah, but not anymore. I don't know what he's doing nowadays. I haven't seen him in a year. I'm kidding.
I was like, all right, we have another hour incoming.
No, I'm kidding. No, he used to do stand-up comedy. He's just really busy with work. But yeah, I've been to Flappers and I watched the, C-level comedians.
Yeah.
That are.
So have you ever tried stand-up?
I have not. I have been flattered and people said I should try it, but it's an art, comedy. Just because or someone else is naturally funny does not mean I should be a comedian. Like, it's an art to write jokes, and not just to write them, but to write like a half an hour of it and then to make it segue seamlessly into another joke. And then you got to make the end call back to the beginning, and your delivery matters, your timing matters. Like, it's an art that people don't take seriously.
No.
Just because you're funny does not mean you can make it on the stage.
No. And that's all I have to say. You just wrapped it up. Well, I feel like being told that you're funny is the first step of like hell. Because it sets you up. You know, it's a compliment. You're a funny person.
Yeah.
You should try stand-up.
Yeah.
And if you're like me and you try it, I think that you're more times than not in for like a rude awakening, because it is everything that you just described. And what I said to my friend the other day, I was like, it's all these things at the same fucking time. It's not just writing. It's not just delivery. Yeah. And if you focus on one of those parts of the craft, the whole thing fails. Yeah. So it's bizarre because you would think, oh, I got the writing. They don't need me to be like super on. But then like if you don't do the delivery, and then vice versa. I've gone onto stage and literally just had no preparation. And I was so cocky because I can sit here and do this and I can make people laugh in conversation. But I thought that I could translate that. And, I like to think that the whole thing is a journey and maybe I'll arrive at being good at that type of thing. But right now I'm like, I need a set list and I need to know my jokes, because you need to know your material when it's not going well. There's no performance that's 100% perfect. There is none. So if you're having a 10-minute set or a 30-minute set or a 5-minute set, even, there's highlights and there's pitfalls. And in those darker moments, I have found that I have to be ready with other material. And sometimes you bring the notebook. Sometimes you're over prepared or whatever. But yeah, it's like, how the fuck do you do it all? And that's why there's editing. And that's why when they film a comedy special on Netflix, they do it up to 4 times because it is
do they? Okay.
never, ever perfect. It is still a live act. And
do they splice it together?
They splice it, yeah.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah. So
I really thought that, they filmed the Netflix special once. It's a home run and that's it.
No. Yeah, and I went to Michael Che. Do you know who Michael Che is?
No.
On Weekend Up, he's on Weekend Update on SNL.
Oh, I don't watch SNL.
I don't either, but
I don't like it.
Yeah,
it's just cheesy. And
there's a lot to say about that, and I'm kind of not going to go.
That's okay. That's okay. Continue what you were saying.
Well, I saw Michael Che in New York because he was filming, I think, his first Netflix special.
Yeah,
and I went to. I think it was a second taping out of maybe 4, or I don't even know, maybe 1 out of 2 or 2 out of 1. And he riffed. He did material. Then he was talking about porn, and he asked the guy in the front row, like, sir, what kind of porn do you watch? And the guy was like, oh, I don't watch porn. And then it was over because he was just incessant about this guy answering. He was just like, you're on a date. It must be the first date, And I was like looking at the watch. He did it for 20 minutes. Like he ripped on that guy for 20 minutes. And I turned to my friend and I'm like, how much money is flying out the window right now? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I don't know. The special came out great.
Yeah.
And they didn't put it in, but I don't think they put it in. But yeah, they do it. They do it several times.
Yeah.
Can't be cheap.
I mean, I have watched some of your reels, and I think you're very good.
Thanks.
And my top 2 was the gay briefcase thing. The way that you turn the corners, and you're like, I said soy milk. Yes, I want a receipt. I thought that was very funny.
You're making me cringe so hard. Like so hard.
No, I thought that was very funny. And the home goods one.
Oh,
the part where you said the manager turned into a cat and was like, all of this is wrong. And what is it like? Everything's rearranged. I want the pillows next to the candles. That made me die. Because that's so true. You go into Home Goods and nothing makes sense. You do have the pillows next to the candles.
It really does. And everything smells like potpourri.
Yeah. Yeah. You walk out of there.
You get candy up by the register for no reason.
Yeah.
It's a disaster.
Yeah. I'm a TJ Maxx person. Do you go to TJ Maxx?
I go to TJ Maxx.
Yeah. I love TJ Maxx.
You like TJ Maxx?
I love it. Yeah. What a dopamine hit that is when you buy something from TJ Maxx.
Do you like it when you get home though?
When I get home?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I have a bag of TJ Maxx stuff.
I just feel like it's always like unusable. Like,
really? What do you buy?
Well, I bought my dad a letter J one time.
A what?
A letter J.
I don't understand.
Like for the wall, like a J.
For a wall. Okay.
A wall.
Okay. A J for the wall.
And then he didn't know what to do with it.
Yeah, I wouldn't know what to do with it.
Well, yeah, I mean, it was kind of like a shoe-in gift. I didn't know what the fuck to get him. And also, thinking back, the long part of the J, like there's like a loopy loop, and then there's a stick that's meeting another stick at the top.
Yes.
That first stick was way too long for some reason. So it was a fucked up J.
Why did you buy it then?
I don't know. I didn't know what else to get him.
You could get something from Amazon.
Yeah. I tried to send my dad an Amazon gift card, but it didn't work.
Why?
I don't know. It just didn't.
Is he anti-Amazon? Anti-Jeff
It just
Bezos?
spun and spun. I literally was
spun and spun?
Amazon. The loading screen spun and spun.
Oh. On his end?
No, on my end.
You couldn't use a different device? Like a phone? Or?
I was only on mobile.
You couldn't have a computer?
I was traveling.
Oh, there's a fruit fly.
Yep.
There's one of your fruit
He
flies.
didn't get caught in the bowl.
Okay. So you're a terrible gift giver, is what you're saying.
Jesus.
Okay. Wow. Don't get anything for my birthday.
What'd you get your dad for?
I always get him Amazon gift cards without fail. Yeah, I'm going. My dad's in Wisconsin, and I'm going there next week actually, and I'm gonna give him his Father's Day card there. Yeah, I was like, why bother mailing it?
Yeah.
I'm gonna see him next week, and it's always a $50 Amazon gift card.
And you get the physical one.
The physical one, yep. And I put it in the card, and I'm the perfect daughter of the year every time.
Yeah. Perfect money, basically.
Perfect money?
Well, I mean, it's like it's just money.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
Yeah. So I'm giving you ideas to be a perfect son.
Well, I did do this, but I did the virtual version.
Well, no, because it was loading the screen and
I never fixed. Like, I could never fix it.
So you never got your dad the gift card.
I did not, and I think it's because his email address is Juno. Email address. It's a virtual.
This is very funny. You're the way you say things.
Email.
Now you're trying to say email.
Email.
I'm not going to say anything from now on because I just want him to just talk. Email. He
oh
said
my
email.
God.
Okay. No, I think it's
I sent him an email.
Okay.
And he has a Juno account.
Juno?
Do you know what
like
Juno is? Oh yeah, but it's an email account too.
Is this from the 1980s, 90s?
It's old, yeah.
Okay. Wow.
And he gets spam, and he's like, I don't know why I get so much spam. I'm like, I don't know why you're on Juno. Like, there's something called.
You want to
Juno.
help him get like a Gmail or Yahoo?
He's
account?
unhelpable. My dad has been an IT tech for a long time, and you know what his go-to thing is?
Huh?
Turn it off and on.
I mean, that's not bad advice, but there could be better.
Like, you're an IT tech.
Yeah.
Do something.
Wait, you said your parents hate you, right?
I mean, maybe. I don't know.
No, you said
maybe it's all an act.
Sorry for the hard pivot. I just
no, it's fine.
Maybe I have ADD too. Do your parents hate you? Do you feel unloved?
Do I feel unloved? Yes. That's an easy yes.
Okay.
No, my parents don't hate me. I have a good relationship with
your mom. Wait, let me remember this. Your mom's in Florida.
They're all in Florida, yeah.
You have brothers and sisters too, right?
Mm-hmm. I'm one of four,
you are the youngest, and you are like the black sheep, and you are the disappointment.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember what you told me on the Crybaby set.
Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, I'm one of four. They're all a medical family, and
okay.
I went into the arts, and here I am doing this.
When you went into the arts, was it to become an actor? Or something else? You're like, I don't want to get into this.
Well, I mean, if we're doing it, no, never. I never wanted to be an actor.
Okay.
And I probably still don't. I don't know. And then I really just wanted to be a filmmaker. Like, I wanted to be a director.
Okay.
Then I went to film school, and at film school, I realized, like, I'll never forget this. I realized that I did not love movies the way the other kids love movies.
I see. Okay.
So,
I mean, you don't even watch movies. So,
I barely do.
But you know what? I don't like it when, how do you feel about this? People say, oh, you have to watch movies to be an actor or a director, or, oh, you're a writer. How do you not like reading books? I think that's a bunch of pishy caca.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's all pishy caca, and whatever the fuck pishy caca is, it's all is bullshit. That. It's all bullshit.
Yeah.
And you know what at my age, and you might feel the same way. It's like, it's all bullshit. The whole thing is bullshit.
Everything.
It's a big shiny bullshit with like we're bullshit, but we turned on lights and cameras and now we're suddenly something
talking shit.
But you know what I mean? Like it's all fabricated. And when you're coming up, you're gonna hear nothing but isms. Yeah, this person isn't. I don't know. Like I'm at a point where it's just like, whatever, maybe that's true for you. You got to smoke a cigarette to be a real Meisner actor, or you gotta do 1,000 mics to be funny. Like, at this point, I don't fucking care.
Yeah, that's a good place to be.
Yeah, it feels freeing.
It does. Yeah, to not give a shit.
Yeah,
I heard that's one of the best parts about getting old. like you?
Yeah.
Is it?
Now we're
I'm
suddenly
kidding.
elderly.
Yeah, we are. Yeah.
past your
Sorry, I don't
bedtime.
know how. Well, I'll just pivot. Do you feel like now that you hit your 30s, do you feel like a significant difference from when you were in your 20s?
Yes. Do you?
Very much so.
Yeah.
I feel more tired all the time. My energy, I feel more. I hit my midlife crisis when I turned like 30, 31. Okay, I'm going to drop something on you, and this is probably going to increase your depression, but so be it for the sake of this podcast.
Okay.
You need the views. No, you're.
Bring it on.
No, you have a lot of views. I'm kidding. So you're 32 and I'm 33. Okay.
Yeah.
What's the average lifespan of a person? 80, 90? We'll say 90. 90's safe, right?
Well, that's good, I think. I think
You
it's
think 90's
78
good?
in America.
Why don't we just, for the sake of argument, benefit of the doubt, 90?
Yeah, 90.
Okay. If you divide life into thirds, we are 1/3 done with life. We only have 2/3 left. If we make it to 90, and if Final Destination, the movie, doesn't happen and we die in some freak car accident or step on a nail and then get sepsis or something and then we just die. That's like, right? We have 2/3 left.
Wow.
Of the 2/3, the one of the thirds is you only have a third left where you're going to be like healthy and you can still walk fine and think okay and your health is going to be fine. Your last third, you're going to be kind of, not you, everyone is going to be, that's like when you're in your 60s.
Mm-hmm.
It's like things stop working.
Yeah.
Everywhere stops working and it gets very depressing. You can't move around too much. You start needing help. So you only have 1/3 left to like really enjoy life with your health and the body and your working mind.
Yeah.
And so not to get
you're doing bad things to my brain.
This is what, sorry, I'm very weary of when I tell people that. I told my therapist that and he said like, that's a very bleak, he's like, try not to think that way. And I was like, but it's a very interesting way to think, is it not?
Yeah.
But I think if anything, for me, it caused a great sense of urgency to start like buckling down and getting shit done. Because I'm like, and also like time speeds up now for me and probably for you. The week goes by so fast now.
Oh, yeah.
Before I know it, every week goes by so fast and it's all of a sudden the weekend. Yeah. And then it's Monday, it flies by, all of a sudden it's the weekend.
Yeah.
And scientifically, I don't know if you know this, but the reason is because as we get older, we start getting in our comfort zones more and we start getting in a routine. We stop doing new things. And so our brain, so when we're like growing up, everything is new. So it feels slower because the brain is like taking it all in. And then as we get older, we don't experience new things. And so everything feels faster because the brain is not taking in new information. Everything is old cake. You know? So that's why, relativity speaking, everything feels like sped up and it's going to keep speeding up as we get older.
Jesus Christ. And I saw this, you're making me think of Instagram because I saw this, you saw this calendar that has like your life in weeks and it's a bunch of little square. You saw that? And
it sounds familiar. Keep talking while I look it up.
This is not an ad.
Back to the depressing topic. You're a little too happy right now.
You gotta bring it down.
Bring it down.
I'm smiling too much.
Yeah. I just want to break your teeth. It's just too much. The
My
smile.
teeth are white. Do you like them?
Really nice teeth.
Thank you.
Did you have braces or were you just born that way?
Well, thank you for asking. I was not born this way. I used Candid.
What?
Did you ever see that?
Candid?
Candid?
It's not the accent.
Did you ever?
I just didn't understand. Candid. What is that? Invisalign type thing?
Yeah, like cheap Invisalign.
You know what? I I actually do want to get Invisalign. So you've kind of done Invisalign. So can I ask about what was it like for you? Did it hurt?
It was hell.
It was hell?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
So, yeah, it's a bunch of like plastic little shit things that
it's
you
not
put
a retainer that you just stick in and no?
Oh, yeah. It seems that way online. But then the reality is that it's moving your teeth.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's painful. And so you got to put the plastic thing in, and the first time is hell because the first time I put it on my teeth, I literally thought I couldn't take it off.
Oh my God.
And they give you a tool,
a
hook, and you have to like pry it. And I watched a YouTube video and they're like, it's going to feel like you're breaking your teeth. And it felt like I was breaking my teeth. It goes,
oh my God.
It's so tight on your teeth.
Oh, geez.
And I did that for, I don't even know, like 8 months.
Mm-hmm.
And then, I ended up with the teeth I have now. But yeah, I have to wear a retainer and I barely do it. I hate it.
But see, that must be different from Invisalign. So could you eat or drink with it in? Or did you have to take it out?
No, you had to take it out.
Okay. So it was like a retainer, or did you have to like pry it out every time?
Well, it was rough. But so you would leave it in, you got like a box and you would get like, I don't even know, 8 of these things, 8 sets of your teeth. And you put it in for 2 weeks at a time. Mm-hmm. And you have to sleep with it. And that's probably why I have bags under my eyes. I couldn't sleep.
Because of the pain?
Oh, it's terrible. Yeah. Also, it had really rough edges that were cutting all the inside of my mouth. And I bought a nail file.
Oh,
like
my God.
Like a motorized nail file.
Uh-huh.
And I would just like saw it down.
Oh, okay.
Inhaling plastic and
stuff. Oh, Jesus.
All to like have a still crooked smile.
It doesn't look crooked.
Thanks.
Yeah, no, it's straight to me at least. It looks really well done.
Thanks.
And it's white, pearly white.
I brush my teeth a lot. I think that's why I have decent.
You didn't get like teeth whitened?
Well, they give you teeth whitener gel and shit. And
got it. Okay. Well. I won't go into this too much, but like during the pandemic, super stressed, blah, blah, blah. And I used to have really straight teeth like you, but then I started clenching at night, not like grinding, but clenching when you sleep. And of course, when you do that, it like starts to break your teeth and then it starts to separate your teeth as well. So now I have like gaps in my teeth. Shit. So I was really considering Invisalign to like straighten the top. Yeah. And, but the other reason was because you have to keep it in for 20 or 22 hours a day, technically. There's like, you lose weight because of it. Oh. And so it's for vanity. The second half of the reason is to lose weight because you keep it in so much. And so you have to like pick it's almost like pick your battles, pick your food and when to eat it because you have to brush your teeth every time. So it's like a pain in the ass.
Yeah. And then you don't want to eat.
Yeah. So you like, because you're eating so infrequently, people 90% of the time lose a lot of weight on it. Yeah.
Oh, I must have been a stick.
A stick?
Like, I must have been thin.
Yeah. Me or like people?
Me like, when I did it.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
So it'd be like, you look good. Like your teeth are good. Your body's good.
Yeah. Did you lose weight when?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I don't remember.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So basically, you wouldn't recommend it though because of the pain.
No, it was terrible.
Okay.
And I don't use my retainer very much.
Oh, you don't?
Like, I'm like tired of it.
Okay.
It keeps me up.
Yeah.
I mean, you have plastic in your mouth.
Yeah.
It's not good.
Well, it's the similar to a night guard, right? Is it? I wear a night guard. That's what my sister said. Too. Yeah, I wear a night guard every night.
Oh, you do?
I do. Yeah. So I sleep with plastic.
There you go. Oh, so you're used to it.
Yeah, for like a few years now. Yeah. Well, I have to because it will prevent breakage and cavities and whatnot. Yeah. So
because your stomach shoots up a lot of acids. Did you know that when you're
what?
When you're sleeping.
I didn't know that. Acid reflux?
Yeah, it shoots up a lot of acid into your mouth When you're sleeping, your stomach shoots up a lot of acid.
You've said that 5 times. I heard
It's
you the
only
first
thing I
time.
know.
Why does it do that?
I think it's bored. It's probably. it's like you're just sleeping. It doesn't know what it's doing. The acid's going all over the place.
I have to look this up. I need to research that to make sure it's accurate.
Here's a real question.
Okay.
Do organs sleep?
No. Well, I don't think so. They probably just take a break.
Yeah.
You know, the heart for sure never stops.
The heart can't.
No.
And that bothers me. Can it take a break?
It can't. You'll
it should
die.
take a sleep if I'm sleeping.
Yeah, you'll die.
Why?
Why? Because
maybe I'll get a CPAP machine.
If your heart stops, you'll die and there's no coming back.
Come on. Put my head in formaldehyde.
Do you want to die? Is this
Do you ever think asking the real question?
Do you ever think about death?
All the time. I mean, I used to be a little more obsessed about it, and lately I'm like, just eat and have fun. I don't know.
Yeah, you're gonna die anyway. Why rush it?
And I there's no change in it. Yeah. There's no obsessing about it doesn't do anything. What do you think happens when we die?
You know, it's so funny when people ask that and then they like have this answer, but they talk as if they know what's going to happen. They're like, we're going to go to heaven. Or like,
yeah.
Or like, they're like, we're going to turn into a cows, in Mumbai. Or like
reincarnation.
Yeah.
Cow reincarnation.
Yeah.
Very specific.
Yeah. And, I always say I'd have no idea. And I say I don't know, but I would like to believe that there is some sort of life after death because I feel like it's so, I feel like I'm not scared of death. I just find it very sad and depressing because most people waste their lives on working jobs they hate. And they live till they're 60, 70, 80, and they're just full of regret. And there's no redo. There's no second chance. It's over, most likely.
Yeah.
And I just find that very sad that like everything you've worked for, you can't like eat your favorite foods, no more watching shows, no more podcasts, no more nothing.
Yeah.
It's over. And you just see black forever. And I just...
Well, now I feel like shit.
I'm sorry. Let me elaborate.
No, I mean, I agree. I definitely don't have the answers.
No, nobody does.
But for a long time, I was like, maybe I'll just become a heathen.
What is a heathen? I've heard that. I'm sorry. I don't know what that is.
No, I mean, it's fine. It's a person that just wants to enjoy, like, to a fault. Like, I want to fucking eat and read and
like and YOLO, but every day.
Yes.
Okay.
And like there's no consequence type way, and that has its faults.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then you end up with cholesterol and a butt sore, and on the side of the road.
Yeah.
And we all know those people. So I don't have the answers.
Yeah. Some people find solace in the fact that it's going to end soon.
Yeah.
I mean, most of the people that say that, I understand because it is coming from a place of pain and depression and severe anxiety. And I've been there and I completely understand what it's like to just, it's like, all right, let's hurry this shit up. It's so painful like for some people, it's very like, have you been suicidal before? Because I have many times.
Yeah.
And the best way I can describe it is it feels like it's painful to exist.
Yes.
Do you? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so I can understand people that say that, but then like me coming out and recovering from that, like, and seeing like the beauty of life, it's just like, it's just sad that it's going to end and you're not going to see your friends and family and there's no redos. And I just find that very sad.
Well, it's flawed. It's flawed from the beginning.
Yeah.
And then not to open up the whole avenue of religion,
Mhm.
But this is my whole thing with God.
Mm.
You're going to tell me that a guy decided,
Mm-hmm.
just some guy,
Mhm.
decided that he was all powerful. He was going to create everything.
Mhm.
This is what they say. And then he's going to create man in his likeness, but
Mhm.
he's going to give man all these desires and then tell him that none of them are legal or like it's bad to do these things, have sex with men or eat too much or gluttony, all the main sins.
Yeah.
And then also, if that's not bad enough, it's going to end and I'm not going to tell you what's going to happen.
And you're not going to know how you're going to die
He
until
sounds
it
like an
happens.
ass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And people worship him.
Yeah. It sounds like the creator of Game of Thrones or something.
Yeah.
Like it's just like,
Yeah.
why did you do this to us?
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. I always feel like I don't know about you, but I get annoyed when people say it's sad, but I don't know why this pisses me off. So it's like someone's like husband will die or whatever. And they'll be like, oh, I can't wait to see Eddie in heaven. And I don't know why that annoys me. It's like,
Yeah.
how do you know I shouldn't, right? How the fuck do you know how do you know there's a high chance you're not going to see Eddie again? But it brings them like solace to
Yeah.
know that like, oh, I'm going to see this person in heaven. And it's like, but you don't know that. Stop talking as if you know that. But I get it. It comes from a place of pain. I also joked. I was like, listen, if there's a heaven, right? And let's say we all die and most of us go to heaven. That's a lot of people up there. How the fuck are you going to find your family, your friends, your loved one?
Right.
It's
like the Royal Caribbean on steroids.
Yeah. It's trillions. It's
so many people.
All the people that ever existed are up there. And can you imagine? Like, this should be a comedy skit. I'm helping you.
For sure.
Could you imagine going to heaven and it's like Caesar is there and
Caesar Chavez,
the emperor.
Oh, I'm
Caesar?
thinking of the dog that.
Oh, sorry, no.
The guy that's the dog whisperer.
Okay, let me be more general. Roman emperors and people that lived in the medieval or Renaissance or Victorian eras.
Yeah.
You have
Anthony Bourdain.
You have all the presidents. Abe Lincoln. You have George W.H. Bush.
I think you might have just killed one of them, but it's okay. We'll just go yes. Yes.
This is what happens when I'm a little tired. I start. Yeah. Could you imagine going up to heaven and they're all there? They're going to be so fucking confused.
They are, or you are.
Them in heaven.
I don't think a single politician should go to heaven.
The emperor of Rome talking to like Abe Lincoln or President Truman.
Oh yeah.
It would just be a culture shock. Like,
and then I roll in and I go, I got into a head-on collision because I got a like on Instagram.
Yeah.
And they go, who are you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Are you from Boston? They're not going to know.
Yeah. It's too many people and everyone is going to be in like a constant culture shock. I don't think heaven's a great place if you think about it like that. No.
And I think of it more like maybe everyone gets their own heaven. And for me, it's Target. Put me in a Target and I'll be good.
Do you like Target?
I love Target.
Yeah.
Because you want to know something? Target is meaningless. It's just a bunch of white, it's
middle
like
class white people.
Yeah. I mean, all different classes. And you got coupons and, Target.
Do you like Walmart? It's like you're one or the other. You got to pick one.
Well,
Walmart or Target.
Walmart, you can't park there. You ever
I
notice
park
that?
I park in the back and walk. Can I tell you what my biggest pet peeve is? I think I mentioned like icks on my list of topics. I have one that I want to share.
Okay.
And if you fall into this, I'm sorry in advance for roasting people like you.
Par for the course.
I cannot stand it when people circle around to try to find parking, like a close spot within like the first 5 spots of a store or a mall, and they just camp and wait, or they keep circling and they're fucking hell-bent on parking as close as they can to some fucking store when there's a million spots to the mid to back half of the lot that people refuse to park in, but then they're going to get out and meander around for miles around a mall. They have no problem walking around the mall, but God forbid you cannot walk an extra 20, 30 feet from the back half of the lot to the front of the store. And then I've been in cars with people and they're like, oh, why are we parking so far? And it's like, you're about to walk 2 miles around Costco.
Also, and this is a new Toyota Corolla. Like, calm down. Like, if you want to drive, we can park on the edge of the curb.
But if you're like pregnant, handicapped, clinically stupid, fine, you can park at the
clinically stupid.
You know, that's my new insult for people. I love like anyone who says something like really dumb.
Yeah.
I'm just like, are you clinically stupid?
Whoosh. All right, that's today's episode. If you'd like to watch videos of today's conversation, be sure to go to our YouTube Talk Show Podcast, handle Talk Show Joe Evie. You can also watch clips on my Instagram, Joe Rodriguez Comedy 1. We'll see you next week.